Alright, so I know this is going to be a little bit more, I guess, of a different video than something that we've seen on this channel, but I wanted to make a discussion in regards to the ending of the Dragon Ball Z trading card game. Now, if you guys haven't just seen the announcement, Panini said that they don't want to interfere with the new licensing rights and oversaturating the market on two trading card games. Now, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player and you're watching this video, you're like, but Robbie, why the fuck do we care? Because the investment opportunities are there, guys. Typically, with trading card games dying, there are very golden opportunities to pick up product on the cheap. And if I've learned anything from seeing old trading card games die, if you pick up a box for like $10 and you sit on it for 10 or 20 years, then someone out there is going to be like, well, shit. You know, like, I haven't seen one of these in a very long time. And you might have a very good opportunity to spend that $10 into a larger amount of money. Now, obviously, there are people out there that focus on dead trading card games. Typically, I've seen these people at Gen Con throughout the years and things like this. And sometimes product doesn't go up super high. But you have to remember, when a game ceases its existence, the product that is out there, that's it. It's done, alright? You literally hit a level of no more will be made. So what is currently on the market for people to absorb, to pick up, that's it. And it's not the original Dragon Ball game. We know this. But there were things out there like those Beerus promos from the whatever the hell, Comic-Con, California. Those were worth money. Super Saiyan God Gokus were pushing $70, $80 for a while. I think they went up even higher after a while. I mean, I really didn't root myself in the DBZ community, so my knowledge isn't super there, but if I've learned anything, it's those playmats from the old days worth a lot of fucking money. If you guys seen the old VS system mats, they're worth a lot of fucking money as well. And if you have the opportunity to pick up some of this stuff on the cheap from your locals, and you're like, I can spend a couple of dollars to sit on some pretty old cool things, then consider it. Don't pay a significant amount of money that is going to hurt you. But if you're sitting here with a few extra dollars and you want to sit on some old things, because let alone you're a DBZ fan, or if you just like the DBZ game in general, then do it. It's just one of those things. It's old hot commodity items in games definitely hold value because they're rare, and then even more so they go out of print. I know Duel Masters, when they made the new game, they released some DCI promos which were fantastic. Some of them looked cool. I thought about picking up a couple myself just because the art was phenomenal, but you can't find them. Like, that's just how it works. You know, if there's one of those old cool DBZ things that you're like, damn, you're like, I like that mat, it's still on the market, you should consider scooping up. Now, if you're a Dragon Ball Z player and you haven't heard the news because I just broke it to you, well, the RG Circuit Series is supporting it up through August at the Philly Championship. So something for you guys to look forward to later this year would be just that. If you guys still play the game and you know you're worried about your shit totally going to waste, then you have some time left with the game, which is pretty cool. Something a lot of card games don't really do is, I think with the ending to even the World of Warcraft game, they literally just seized everything up, and it was a pretty big disappointment. WoW, Duel Masters, but it's really interesting. But DBZ, Dragon Ball Z Heroes, or whatever the hell the new game is going to be, will be coming out in 2017. I'm not quite sure how the rules or things are going to work with like that. Definitely under new licensing gives new opportunities. It's basically just jumping from one to the other train at the moment. But we'll see how things go. I definitely believe that Panini ran the game very well. It was ran by a community of players that existed for years. It's one of the cool things I liked about the DBZ community. Even though the original Dragon Ball Z game died, the hardcore community that loved the game for years produced fan-made cards. They tried to release new things to the player base, and that was really cool. So I'm going to leave a link down below. That way you guys can kind of read the final big piece of Dragon Ball Z news for this particular game. And I do respect the fact that they don't want to saturate the market. That's pretty fucking cool. But the important thing is you have one last golden opportunity to play this. It's not to say that the hardcore community that exists won't, continue to do what they did with the original Dragon Ball Z game. Continue the foundation here. Create more cards. Continue it within the own network of themselves. That very possibly can happen. And we'll have to wait and see. So, like I said, guys, moral of the story, if you guys are looking at kind of an extra few bucks, if you guys have seen the prices on some of the old Dragon Ball Z stuff, the playmats were very, very, very phenomenal back in the day. Obviously, what's out there on the market it's going to disappear. I know a lot of communities don't see playmats as a thing, but 4 or 5 years from now, when you have that one specific guy that has that one niche for that one playmat, and you have that playmat sitting in a pile somewhere, kind of like I do with some old stuff, then you can make that quick, $20, $30 on quite possibly a $15 investment. And I don't think a lot of people really see those things. But if your locals is selling Dragon Ball Z packs at a cheap price, you have $10, $15, screw it, pick up a couple packs, sit on them. Sealed box, definitely not a terrible investment. Dragon Ball Z is definitely a lot more remembered than Force of Will and a lot of the communities, which says a lot. Force of Will has some fucking phenomenal art. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool the way that Force has done this little recipe thing with sending in cards. Extremely cool. Being able to get other things, creating money, balancing out the secondary market. They're all doing very interesting things with their game. But Dragon Ball Z said, you know what, we're going to pave the way for this new game. New game's probably going to be a failure in my opinion. It's typically how a lot of these things happen, and it kind of really sucks to say that because I don't know a lot about it, but usually card games that come off of the success of another card game with changes, whether or not it be for the better or the worse, sometimes these things just fail. And especially if things are completely different, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm putting my eggs in a basket now, just taking the L on the potential. But we'll have to wait and see. Getting a little bit further ahead of myself. But, like I said, guys, ARG is going to continue to support it. I've seen some very happy people on Facebook. But nothing lasts forever. Not even fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Will last forever. If Yu-Gi-Oh! Got to 100 years, I don't know what the fuck I would do. But there's always that scare factor that at the end of the day, the company can just very easily say, nope, peace. We're done with your trading card game. You guys are a very loyal fan base. We don't want to continue doing what we're doing. With the inclusion of Dragon Ball Z Super coming out, a lot more great things could have happened for this game. But at the end of the day, it's time to pack up shop and walk away. I don't know whether or not they were losing money. I don't know why they didn't want to continue on the licensing. I'm sure they had some external pressure or some shit. I don't see how two companies having the same rights, I don't know. It's kind of one of those death grips in my opinion. They're established. I guess the bigwigs upstairs were like, we want to release our game. No, force all of your player base over to our game. And even though people might not like the game, You know, it's one of those things. It's the business model that tries to make everyone fucking happy. You strangle out the old and bring them over to the new. So I don't know. Obviously, there's some Dragon Ball Z experts out there watching this channel. Probably are more dedicated to the game than I am. Obviously, I might be wrong on some of my opinions. Guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Golden opportunities are there on certain collectible things. So please tell me what you guys think down below. And I'm sorry to the Dragon Ball Z community if I made anyone angry. I'm sorry if you guys recently are upset that your game just went to shit. But it's still important to make videos and discuss these things. So, alright guys, I'm out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please thumbs up this video to show your support. And please check out Vanguard 40 for Cardfight Vanguard, MKohl Games for miscellaneous trading card games, and No Limit Gaming for a brand new series of Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks for watching.